Hello, welcome to Talkin Kop. It's me, Chris Brack. It's him, the boss, Gav. Finished Liverpool 5, Toulouse 1 in a bit of a random game, really, wasn't it, Gav? Let's be honest.
Yeah, a little bit random. Not gonna lie. I'm sure we go through the lineups in a bit and bits of the game and stuff like that. But look, it's another win. It's 9 points from nine. One more win from the last three. Let you top the group. Possibly a point. We'll probably top the group. I don't know. I haven't looked at the group. I just know we have nine, and the others don't have nine. So look, it's another win. A lot of players got a run out. Young lads got a run out, and overall, you're happy. But there was bits and pieces to it I wasn't overly happy with, to be honest with you.
Yeah, listen, I said to you before we came on air, I said when it got to about 10 minutes in the second half, I kind of zoned out and it was on, but I wasn't fully paying attention. You kind of knew it was over, and I think second half performance kind of probably showed that a little bit, which is maybe a little bit the frustration a little bit. But go for the lineup then. So Keller in goal, back four of Trent, Matip, Gomez, Luke Chambers making his European debut. Midfield of Endo, Jones, and Gravenberch. Up front, Elliot Wright, then Diogo and Nunez. So I think when I did the pre-match with Chris yesterday, we did about three lineups between us, and I think I got 7 or 8 of them. There's a couple we didn't expect. I probably expected Salah to start because I kind of just thought he would for the home games. But anyone really surprise you?
Um, the Chambers one kind of did. You know, I'm on the kind of bandwagon of Simicast, kind of building up a bit ahead of steam here.
Mm.
But you know, you kind of temper that with the fact that it looks like Robertson will be out for 8 to 10 weeks. So it's not like Simicast just has to get through the next month and we're good. We kind of have to really protect him now, even though we want to get him more game time to get him up to speed. And I think it'll take him 3 or 4 games to go up to speed. So that one surprised me a little bit. You don't know what way they're gonna go, really. You know, midfield end though, yeah, that made sense. Jones made sense. He's been suspended for the last three Premier League games. I think is he available on Sunday?
Nope.
Um,
One more
no,
to go.
one more to go. Okay, and Gravenberch it's still building. I think he's still building up fitness and getting the grips with what we're trying to do. So that was all right. Up front, I'm not a fan of Elliot up there. And I'll get into that a bit more later. But I just thought with Nunez up front and Jota, I would have went for a bit more pace on one side. Because I think it stunts us a little bit. But look, he clearly has a plan to get through this group in as little fuss as possible and get as many players time as he can and playing time, and he's definitely using it to motor into these Sunday games 100%.
I think so. I think so. I mean, listen, it was perfect start. Lovely jinking run by Jota and nice finish. And that's now Jota still has the record of we've never lost a game when he scored.
Yeah, I
Because they were
heard
telling
that.
us on
I heard that for the
29 games, 29 games he scored, and
Yeah, I think it
we
was.
haven't lost. So
Is it a little bit more than that? I thought it was a little bit more than that. Maybe
none of
29, but I know we've literally drawn about six of them and won the rest. Look,
that.
it's a great start. I think it's 9 minutes in, and um, in fairness to Toulouse, they didn't come in and just sit in 4-5-1. They tried to get people forward, but when it broke, then you could see they were very worried when we got the ball, say 30, 40 yards from goal, and we started to
Mm.
move and we started to do it at pace. They didn't know where to look, and what to be following. And Jota took full advantage of it. He just drifts in. I think it's a lovely little nutmeg he does, and finishes in the corner. Kat says, lads, you look like we lost the game. What do you want? What do you want me to do? It's a Europa League group game. I can jump around a little bit if you want, but no, I'm happy. I'm happy with it. But there's bits to it that actually annoyed me. But
Mm.
when you
But
when you say the trigger words, I'll tell you what annoyed me.
it's probably all of them. Probably the equaliser because it was a bit of a all-round shit show in terms of the one of the guys is quite close to Chambers. He lets him go, so Gomez has to step out to go to him. Doesn't get tight enough. Matip doesn't cover him behind. Trent's too deep, which plays everyone on side. And for me, the goalkeeper turned into Simon Mignolet. He stuck on his line, which he never normally does, and he did everything he could to make himself smaller. It was the classic Mignolet save or non-save that we used to see. But no one put a tackle in. But I do wonder how it got that far where the defence were even exposed. So we're exposed that way. So all around, I know it wasn't a a back four that's played together before. But Matt's and Gomes have played enough together. They should be able to between them sweep up.
Yeah, but what happens? What happens for me is when the ball comes in and it's kind of drops to this guy and he's looking for the pass. They step up, and Trent doesn't. Trent is over the other side of the pitch, 5, 6, 7 yards deeper than them, and you can see him about to try go and get in online with them, but he simply doesn't, and your man runs through. The thing with the finish is, and I know I get what you're saying with Kelleher. He kind of gets himself caught in a position where he's not reducing the angle enough. But I have to give credit to the forward because the finish is one where it's probably the hardest to save. It's right down below him. You know what I mean? It's right down in that area, right underneath his knee as he's standing, and he buries it. But yeah, I think, look, the centre half's going to do more. I think Trent is out of position for me, and I've only seen one replay on it. And the goalkeeper should probably progress, come out a little bit more if he's going to take up that option of standing and trying to, I don't know, give the forward the eyes. I don't know what he was trying to do.
It reminded me of Joe when we beat United in the COVID, the rearranged one. Was Salah
when their goalkeeper ran off.
D. Henderson basically just goes right over to one side and makes himself small.
Yeah,
it looked just like that, just like.
Yeah, I don't think it was that bad. I'd have expected Keller to make maybe one or two more steps out towards the striker. Do you get me? And that maybe gets in his face a little bit more because he has got a long run in on goal. It's not like he's running onto this and the keeper can come out and really try and narrow the angle. Like Kelleher's basically waiting for him to get to him. Do you know, the sort of way? But the finish, I think if he goes wider with the finish, Kelleher has more of a chance. I think because it's down that low and hits so hard, give him some credit. It's a really good finish, I think.
He played well actually because he gives them pace in behind. You can see he's their star player. I think the number 23 in midfield is also quite highly thought of. But it won't pull up. I mean, especially Gravenberch. All the best play went through him. He just gets better and better every game. You're still wondering why it never worked out by Munich for him because he's just really, really good and really entertaining. And I thought Endo grew into the game. I thought the kid Chambers did grow into the game. I thought for most of the game he kept it safe. And listen, he's making his European debut. He's only a kid, so I don't blame him for that. Trent started very inverted, almost looked like a back three, and Endo and him as a two, and then he just drifted out wide again. So, but I mean, that's what they be doing all the time. I'm with you though on the Elliott thing. I do think he gets isolated too much when he's playing wide right. He hasn't got the pace, and he hasn't quite got the trickery or the know-how yet to hide that pace and use it in a way. He still looks better as an 8 to me.
Yeah, 100%. I think, like, if you go back, Trent was very inverted. You're right. He was literally he was the middle centre half for most of the first half. To be fair, but what I found, when you don't have, this is what I was going on about the pace on one side, because Jota is not slow, but he's not someone where you go, he's going to tear in behind you like a Diaz would or a Salah would. So, but my issue then was stemmed from Trent was dropping in and stuff like that. But when you don't have that searing pace down that right hand side, that's when you have to start playing balls through the lines, and that's where Elliott tries to get on it, on that inside right kind of channel, and then he's looking to link with Nunez or whoever, and it was just Trent looked a bit like it was a bit too easy for him at times, very slow, very kind of, I'll just dictate this, and Liverpool slowed down, and that's it with Toulouse. Endo did grow into it, definitely. I thought he had a really, really good second half. Gets a goal, and we'll go on to that in a minute, but overall he did grow into it. I didn't like Jones in the game, and I'm sure a lot of people go, "Well, you're mad," but I just didn't like him in the game. And I don't. Some of it's not his fault. I think he's finding himself having to go out to that right wing an awful lot because Trent demands to be inside,
and he prefers to play. And to be honest, he always looks best from the left. So does Gravenberch. So there is that element. And look, he looks like a guy who's not played since pre-international. I do think that's a factor. I mean, look, he's sent off, so he's not going to play. But I also think that's a little bit of a factor as well.
Yeah, it's look, the bits that annoy me tonight were at sometimes, like, I understand we're trying to get through these games, we're trying to get through them where we're not all action and it's all 100 million miles an hour, and that's fine. But I think some of the application at times was a bit off. I think Trent was guilty of it. I think Jones was guilty of it, and I think Elliott in that position was guilty of it. And like Antoine says, he mad, and I'm presuming he's talking about Jones. But genuinely, I just felt right with Jones. Right, I didn't like him going out that right hand side. I don't think it suits him. Right, but at times there was bits where play. If you don't like it out there, just play it quick and don't leave yourself. He was ending up over on that right side a lot because of the slowness of it, and it was lethargic, and it was a bit. It's just a bit of a training game, and it started to really get on me. It really did, and I'm not saying he had a terrible game, Jones. But look, it's all about opinion. But I'm watching that game tonight, and I'm saying to myself, Jones, if you ping it a little bit quicker, we're not spending half the game with you at right back, because we'll move it up the pitch, and then you can get back into position and play. Because Trent naturally falls back into the right. But you mentioned Gravenberch. Yeah, he
glides plus players. He just glides plus players. It's just a joy to watch.
The thing about him is his force touch is excellent, and usually his force touch is away from him. So when you get close to him and he takes that touch, he just has that stride where he's getting away from you, and he seems to find the pass and he runs with it. He's brilliant for one move, where it might have been the one actually Nunez scores, but he's just glides with it, and he knows what he's doing, and he can see the pass. And look, I still think he's probably at 75-80% Gravenberch.
Yeah.
Because you can see he's coming off in a lot of games, Chris.
Yeah, you can still do that. I mean, we had a few mad corners. I mean, at one point we thought Joe Gomez was going to score. They never happened. Like I said, no. I mean, the best thing, it fell to Matip, and he just did the best side foot pass you've ever seen to set up Nunez. Good save by the keeper.
Yeah.
So again, you're going, oh, there we go. We do get a corner. We take it short. We play it deep to Trent. It whips it in, and it's a really good header by Endo. I mean, he's the smallest man on the pitch, but it's a cracking header, and it came up. It's our first headed goal since April.
Oh, all right.
Which I was like, when they said, I was like, really? And I was like, yeah, I'm sure. They said we haven't scored a headed goal since April. So, yeah. Which I'm assuming would have been the Nunez one against the Manx. I would have thought. It's a while back. April, yeah, but it just feels like we scored more headed goals than that, but clearly not. Yeah, that's what they were saying. That's what they were saying on TNT. So I was like, right, okay.
Okay.
So
I didn't like they all get paid to find out these things and research them. No, it's a good header by Endo. Like, it's a good move from the corner. It changes it up a bit. It's short. I think it was Jones to Trent. I don't think it's the best ball in the world by Trent. I think he wants to put a bit more on it. But in fairness to him, even when he doesn't put it exactly where he wants to put it, he always puts it into a dangerous area. Always puts it into a dangerous area. And it's a really good header. And the commentator, I was watching it on the Zone, and the commentator said he does really, really well to get that power on the header. And he does, because there's not loads of pace in it. It's not like it's right in front of me. He kind of has to arch his neck a little bit, and he buries it, and it's a really good header.
Right in the side. That's what
you want. Keepers not getting near it.
Yeah, which is kind of what you want, really. And then we'll talk about the third, because I just want to talk about Gravenberch a bit more. He absolutely glides past a couple of players, gets in the box, outside the foot. Jones, who tries to get his shot off, it doesn't quite fall for him, and sort of deflects off his chest, falls to Darwin, and it's what I would call the Shearer finish, which is just drives it, and he learnt from the miss he had earlier on, which is go high. The keeper's going down quick, go high, and nice finish. And you went 3-1, and I was kind of like, game over them, and I think possibly that might be the problem when we come into the second half.
Yeah, look, it's all about Gravenberch. It's all about him, and it does fall to Jones. It kind of ricochets off Jones then, because there's a check after the goal, whether it's a handball or not, but it clearly comes off like it's nowhere near his arm. But you're right, Nunez misses a great chance. You remember in the last game, in the European game at Anfield, where it's squared to him, and he just takes his eye off it.
What comes the other one?
And this one, I think he actually might be a bit worried if he drags it across goal. A defender coming back might block it. So he just rifles it into the roof of the net. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And that's what we've seen in his early career at Liverpool. Last season, he loves just hitting it and hitting it hard. And it's a really good finish. It kind of, when you look back in hindsight, it settles the game. But in fairness, I think we needed it. Because, in fairness to Toulouse, I thought they were really, really good. They tried to play football. some lovely little patterns of play. I don't think it helped us with Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott seemed to be playing left-sided or right-sided forward, and at one stage,
It was left wing.
Toulouse had a throw in first half, had a throw in near the dugout, and it dropped to a fella, and we turned around, Harvey Elliott standing beside him, 15 yards from the touchline. And they just switched the ball to the left back, and he was taken out of the game. And that's probably where the annoyance came from Elliott. It's just not his position. It simply isn't. But Toulouse, I have to hand it to them. They were quite good, and I think it'll be a test for Liverpool going there in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I think these are supposed to be the fourth seed. They're the best of the three teams we played.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, so on paper they're the fourth seed, but I would say that they look the second best team.
Without a doubt. Yeah, he won the French Cup last season, didn't he? And quite a lot of teams take that very seriously.
Well, they pointed out to me last night. They actually beat the reigning French champions, Nantes.
Yeah.
So fair play. It was the first ever trophy. So credit where it's due. Damien Comolli. That's the project they want to do. It's young, it's exciting talent, and it's high pressing. Which is kind of the way the game's going anyway. So it's just getting in line with the curve, and I'm sure their policy will be that striker who plays up front from within 18 months he'll be sold for 30 million.
Yeah.
Probably somewhere in the Premier League, and then they'll do it again. It's the Salzburg route.
Yeah, well,
like
when you look back at their recent history, they were in financial trouble massively in the last, I think as recent as the last 10 years, and they come up the season before last. They won the cup last season. They're in Europe this season, so they're going on the right trajectory. Red Bull are involved in them, aren't they? And Damien Comolli. I've seen Damien Comolli in the crowd, and Jesus, that guy's aged. Wow, that guy has aged. Dan Jay says, lads, cheer up a bit. We just won 5-1 with half a reserve team playing. As for Elliott, right wing isn't his best role, but he did a job. He did do a job. And Nunez pace up top, so we didn't need it wide as much. My point about the wide, I get your point on Nunez pace, but I always like someone that's a massive threat in behind on one side. That's all I'm saying. Otherwise, they can kind of keep an eye on Nunez and not worry too much about either side. Bonkers ask, are you not happy with a 5-1 victory? I am happy with a 5-1 victory, but it's all right to say this fella wasn't great or that fella wasn't great. What we all just hold hands and sing fucking Kumbaya after a win? It wasn't perfect.
We can't win, Gav, because last year when we got dead excited because we beat the Manx 7-0, we got told we'll get ahead of ourselves and just we need to wind it in a bit. So which way do we want it?
Yeah.
Listen, we're all happy with one, but as you said, it's a group game in the Europa League, a bit like a group game in the Champions League. It's get through them and get through them unscathed, which we have, But it's fine to say certain things we're not pleased, or we think things could be better, because you want to do better because that's what we want. Also, for those players, they want to do better because they want to get themselves in the first team for Premier League games.
Yeah, if you look at Chambers, thought he looked very nervous. Right, I thought he looked very nervous, and looked a bit off the pace, and maybe that was because of his nervousness, a bit hesitant. And I thought he was okay the first half. I thought he was once or twice. I was like, oh, that's a bit, a couple of loose passes and stuff like that. But you expect that. I have no problem with that, no problem whatsoever. There was early in the second half. I was like, you need to whip him now, because it's going to get to the stage where he could lose confidence, even though this is a big night for him. He could lose confidence off the back of it.
It's getting used to pace of men's football as well.
Scanlon comes on. Really, I really liked him, but he gets caught once on it, and the commentator was like, "Oh, that'll be a learning curve." And I was like, "No, if Endo isn't fucking just passing wherever he feels like it, he actually gets caught trying to make up for Endo's mistake." And he should really probably just let the ball run out and go, listen, Endo, what are you doing? He gets caught, but he was good going forward. The young lad comes on then near the end, McConnell, and, gets a couple of touches, and that's absolutely fine. Kwanzaa just looks like he's part of the squad.
Yeah. McConnell puts a really good ball in, which, to be honest, I think is unlucky. It goes between Jota and Salah.
Yeah, right at the end,
it's right at the ends. And I quite like that move, because it was Scallon and McConnell, two young kids, just snapping into it, going, chase down a dead ball and, nearly getting us a chance out of it. So that's the big positive today is, look, 3 kids have made the debuts and we've got more minutes into Kwanzaa at the end. It's what you want. That's kind of the benefit of Europa League, is we can, we're never going to do that in the Champions League. So there is that benefit of it. Second half, fucking hell, the first 10 minutes was...
How did your man miss?
Honestly, what happened to Keller? Has he been space jammed? It's
No,
just,
I,
honestly,
I think
it's
what
just like
happens
what?
is it comes back to him, and Keller's really cool all night on the ball, like so cool on it, and he always is.
Uh,
But this one, when it comes back to him, I don't know whether he. I think he gets caught between trying to play a pass and hit it long, and he does neither. Hits one fella, bounces to another, he squares it, and this fella is on his left foot, 12 yards from goal. And what I think, well, I'm only looking at it. I think he's presuming Trent's going to go flying across the line to try block this, and he's going to put it back where Trent's coming from. But Trent doesn't.
mm.
Trent just stands there as if to go, this fella's scoring, and hits Trent with it. And it was just like, wow,
You can you, you can tell
it's
by his
ridiculous. You
reaction.
know what I mean?
It's that big sigh where you go, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
almost like,
Trent does it
oh,
at times.
and then
Yeah,
and then looking at Keller going, fucking hell, mate, got away with that
yeah.
because you were
And
like,
and, and like I know you were a bit critical of Kelleher on the goal. And yeah, there's an argument he could take a couple of steps out towards the guy. That's a mistake there. But other than that, like he comes and claims what he needs to claim. He saves what he needs to save. He's good with his feet. You know,
joy being a keeper, though, wasn't it? Everyone
yeah.
remembers
Look,
the bad bits.
he makes a mistake. And it happens. We've seen loads of goalkeepers do it. We've seen Allison do it.
Plenty.
Yeah, and I think he just got caught between what he was trying to do and done neither. So
Mm.
but after they missed that, you can see that they kind of get deflated. You
Yeah.
can kind of get deflated, the sort of way.
And I'll be honest, for the next probably 10, 15 minutes, I kind of zoned out because nothing happened. I was probably playing on my phone, wasn't really paying much attention. And then Quanta comes on, the Scallon comes on, and Gakpo comes on. I mean, that was
Hmm.
the big boost as well. Gakpo
Back,
back
yeah.
on, back on the pitch, which is kind of what you want because we're back then to the full five of main attackers. So one less worried for us as well. So and he was fine. And then a few minutes later, Mo comes on. Friends of my WhatsApp group were fuming he was coming on. Why is he coming on? I'm like, I think it's a sports science thing just to tick him over because it's
Salah.
going to be. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
tick
yeah,
over. Joe.
yeah.
And I know people don't like to hear it, but touch wood doesn't really pick up many injuries. And I think this is just give him a half hour run out, give him a half hour, 20-minute run out in a competitive game is better than saying do an hour's running on the training field. There must be a sports science reason behind it
There
because of
has
why
to be,
they're
because like if you look at it, Trent plays so many minutes, comes off, right, and he was missing a few games a while back because of a little injury or whatever.
Mm.
So that's definitely something where they have a little plan for him, where they're gonna bring him in and play something. Now he'll play Sunday and might play the whole game, but this is obviously just extra work on top that he wouldn't usually get some weeks, the sort of way. And then you look at Salah, 25 minutes, right, which is just keeps him ticking over. You know what I mean?
And he got the captain's armband. So
Yeah,
another
yeah,
thing,
and then
another little thing to keep him happy as well, which
yeah,
is
and
kind of
then
what you want.
Darwin plays and he's whipped off. Do you know what I mean? Jones is obviously being suspended. He plays most of the game, 87 minutes. I think he comes off. He comes off, so he gets another full game more or less under his belt, and you can see it. You know what I mean? Jota plays the whole game, right? I don't expect to see Jota at the weekend now because he's played the whole game. I
Yeah,
think you'll probably see Diaz,
Nunez, Salah.
Nunez, Salah, or Gakpo. Might you don't know, but there's definitely something. Look, it's not like fucking revelation to say that Liverpool go into these games with a plan for players to play X amount of minutes and this fella to come on for this fella and this fella to come on for that fella. And some of them is getting them back to pace. Some of them's keeping them at a pace like Salah. And some of them is just to make sure that when we need them, they're ready. In the likes of Kwanzaa, Endo, whoever it might be. So yeah, they're definitely
Yeah,
they're
Thor said
definitely
we missed the
planned.
Gravenberch goal. We haven't missed the Gravenberch goal. We don't
No,
always talk about it in order. We
no.
just talk about bits.
Yeah.
We are going to come to the Gravenberch goal because fucking it was just Nunez to a T. This isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just the way it goes through. It's a great ball. He's put through. He does all the hard work, and then it's a post bit of. So
Well,
and the only funny thing is he's on the floor depressed and just about turns around and says, "Oh shit, my mate scored. Let's get
yeah.
up."
Do you know something? I think he was Liverpool's best player tonight. I genuinely do.
Nunez.
I think
He's
first half he was coming a bit deeper. He was picking it up and he was driving at them. And then there was ones where there was a lovely one where he gave it to Elliott and just turned the corner and went. Elliott put him in, and he just about got caught with the ball. But I really liked his directness. Really, really liked how direct he was, coming in, getting at the feet. Then he chases back. There was another one where he chases back,
Oh,
wins it.
it's
Wins
it's
it,
like
just
it's like on
yeah,
FIFA when you unselect the player. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah. It
oh
was
yeah,
like
great, I've got the
it
ball.
was
He
like
went,
his fucking controller went off, right? Because he wins it, goes back past the halfway line, and everyone's like, "Well done, Nunez." Then he just goes, "Not bothered with that ball anymore. Someone taking this." And then next ball, everyone lets a roar at him. He wins it, turns, and starts running back up the other way with it. It was like
but they
FIFA
get
on
stuck out.
amateur level, but your controller's gone off, or just gone on the blink for a minute. And then the goal for Gravenberch. As soon as
So,
we win it, you can see it on the screen. He's gone, and Jota plays him, and the way he gets onto it, and it's so underrated what he does to that defender, because he actually turns inside and at the same time keeps going towards goal. It's actually brilliant what he does. The defender hasn't a hope, and not most defenders won't, because if you come inside and keep coming inside, the defender can go with you. But he's literally gone inside and past him before the defender can even react. You know, straight away. He goes around the keeper, and his issue is he should take another step. That's what he should do. He should take another step or another touch on the ball. Because when he goes around the keeper, what happens is it ends up underneath his feet. It ends up underneath his feet.
Yeah, he's just like shit. That's all he wants to do.
Oh, look, he's three options. Slow down, ball runs in front of you, put it in the net. Right? Take a touch, ball's out in front of you, put it in. Right? Or just take another step. Because if he takes another step, he's right. It's literally the ball's just going to keep running with him. He hits the post. He's on the deck. Gravenberch comes in fairness, takes it round him and puts it in the net. And look, listen, everyone's going to clip that up. Look at this fucking Egypt missing from here and all this sort of stuff. But who do we give a bollocks? No. Right? I thought he was excellent today. In everything he done, is chasing, is pressing, coming deep, turning, running at them, scores, right? And honestly, go back and watch that goal again. The touch inside the defender to literally stay in the direction he's running while he's actually still in a straight line at the goal, even though he's gone inside the defender, which is madness. I loved him. I loved everything about it tonight, and I loved it even more that when he missed that, just Gravenberch followed up and scored, and then they just whip him off as well, which was great.
But this thing's Klopp was talking about probably March, April last season, where people thought he was digging Nunez out, and he wasn't. He was just saying, like, there are things he needs to learn to play the way we want. And you're now seeing the benefit of it, of the way he plays. Because the concern sometimes with Nunez last year was, if he wasn't scoring, he wasn't always contributing as much as you would like a Liverpool forward to do. This season, you can't complain. You know, he's doing everything you want a Liverpool forward to do.
Yeah.
You know, even when he's not scoring, he's having a positive impact. Not this Captain Chaos nonsense. It's, you know, he's effective. You know, and that's kind of all you need him to be is, you know, make an impact. But yeah, his face when he comes off, it's that ruse smile. He's absolutely raging inside. You can because he knows I could have had two, but he's like, it's whatever. It's 4-1, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, but the thing, like the whole Captain Chaos stuff is, I think he's given that name because he'd very little involvement in games last year. It was always explosive stuff where he's lashing volleys from. Remember against West Ham, ball was just coming over his last season. Ball coming over his shoulder, just lashing it at the goal. You know, but now it was like there's way more substance to it. So the mad bits that go on are still there for me, but there's so much more going on around it at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, just go back and watch. If you go back and watch the game, watch the amount of times he comes short. You know, plays little triangles, runs the channel, chases down, beats players, commits players, and like, you know, and puts a spark into it. Like, he was absolutely brilliant tonight. Absolutely brilliant tonight. But look, he does hit the post. That's what people are going to remember, you know. But having said that, if you give me that performance every week from Darwin Nunez, we're winning 99% of the games, and I'll take that. He can hit the fucking post as many times as he wants.
Yeah, actually, I was right. He doesn't let his head drop. He's definitely got that smirk, which is like, even when he misses, he just got. It's like, it's madness, isn't it? I'll score the next one, though.
Yeah,
but that's kind. And Mo's got that same sort of view of things. Whenever he misses a chance, Mo just smiles and he's just like, I'll get the next one. That's kind of what I feel. I mean, then Mo Salah came on, does what Mo Salah does at the end, which is scores another great goal. He's now the leading Premier League goal scorer in major European competitions with 43 goals,
Yeah,
overtaking
O'Sheen
Thierry
says there a
Henry.
new record, 43 European goals for Mo Salah, making him now the leading scorer for any English team in Europe ever. Man just keeps breaking records. I love it. Yeah, he goes ahead of Thierry Henry, I think.
Not a bad
Who,
fellas go here.
no, it's
Go
not, in
cast it
fairness.
right.
Um, but yeah, like, look, Salah comes on, he gets that 25 minutes, and when he comes on, again, you can see Salah's not at full. He's not at full speed. He's playing. He's chasing. But then when you gave him a chance, he just
Yeah,
buries it, and um, it's he's just a joke. He's an
yeah,
absolute joke, and I keep saying it. I think there might. I think the more records this fella breaks, the more chance it is he stays at Liverpool.
mm.
Because
I think
we were talking about one. We were talking about one last week where I think he's like, I want to
about
say
30.
something like 30 goals behind Sergio Aguero, for non-English Premier League goal scoring, and or 40 maybe. And I was like, you know what? He might want a real go at that, and I hope it is the case, because the thing that keeps me hanging on to the fact that I think Mo Salah will stay at Liverpool, and the money being offered is gigantic in Saudi Arabia, but the whole setup over there is an absolute shambles. The thing that holds out hope for me is that Mo Salah has levels that he wants to reach. He still feels he has levels he can go to, and there's records there. Like,
He's,
look, the money is
he's
phenomenal,
yeah.
but I think Mo Salah would love to walk away going, do you know what? I stayed at Liverpool till I was 34. I became one of the greatest ever goal scorers, one of the greatest ever players, one of the Premier League's greatest ever players and goal scorers. And I'm not saying he wouldn't be one of those if he left next summer, but there's just a few records there where I think Mo Salah will be going, because Mo Salah is ruthless, and I think he'd be looking going, I can do that. I can absolutely do that. And
But
I think Liverpool would just hand him the contract if he thought
yeah,
he was willing to sign it.
well, he's 5 short now of 200 goals for Liverpool, and he's 33 short of catching Billy Little, who's on 228.
Yeah,
Sorry, yeah, 228. So
yeah,
I think that's the one he's got in his sights on, which is I reckon I can get to Billy Little and try and aim to get one ahead of him. Next one up from that is 241. Gordon Hodgson, possibly, but he'd have to stay for a couple of years to do that. I don't think he gets the top two,
yeah,
but I bet he'll have a bloody good go trying to get to Roger Hunt. He won't get anywhere near in Rush, but he'll definitely have a good go getting to Roger Hunt.
yeah. I just
And
think, like, you see him there, and like, I'm running out of you're running out of superlatives for him, and not only that, his record this season for goals and assists is ridiculous. Like, do you know what I mean? It's
is this like
like,
15 goals on 15 home games in a row now? He's scored or assisted.
scored or
It's something.
assisted. Yeah, it's something
It's
15 or 16. Yeah,
something stupid.
yeah. I think
I think.
he has. I think he's played
I think this
12
season's only
games this
Spurs.
season, and I think he has something like 9 goals and is a 9 and 6 assists or something.
I
It's
think it's
stupid.
only. I think it's only the Spurs game he didn't get a goal or assist in. I think every other game he's got some sort of goal involvement. I'm
Yeah,
pretty certain,
yeah.
which is
It's. I'm
ridiculous.
sure someone will look up his goals and assist record for this season, but he's only played, I want to say, 12 games, and not 12 full games, because
No.
he comes on against. I think he comes on against LASK. I think he goes off
Yeah.
against Union Saint Gillo or whatever they're called, and he comes on tonight for
Uh,
25 minutes.
yeah, and
So he
he
probably
comes off.
has 100 minutes of maybe 100 minutes of European football this season, plus 9 league games. And yeah, he's just a special player, and to be able to bring him on, and he's just bringing him on to warm him up for Sunday. You know,
Yeah, it's just a tick
take a
over job.
handy tomorrow, take a handy Saturday, see you Sunday, and you go
I
out and
like
do the
plenty. I
business.
like plenty pointed out. Good rest for Canate. I mean, he's a bit like Matip. You have to manage his minutes a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah,
Nice rest of Van Dijk. It's
Allison.
nice to actually not be able to bring Soboslai. I think that's the first game of the season he's not featured in,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is a good thing because we can rest him. McAllister gets a bit more rest as well, so they're the big positives. Simicast isn't risked. Like I said, you and me both thought he'd get a few minutes just to pick up sharpness, because he's not played a lot recently. But it takes all the risk out of the games now. And look, Gomez to me did all right, and again he's a guy who goes from left centre back to right back and then inverted right back in all in one game. So
yeah.
he's a busy boy. He's a busy boy, but it keeps him ticking over as well. Keeps him handy.
Yeah, and there's no way that Joe Gomez is first choice to when Trent goes off the pitch to be going and
Mm.
playing as an inverted right back slash centre
Yeah,
midfielder. It's just
he started to
it's
enjoy
not
it
his
though, isn't
game. It's not his game. But Liverpool are comfortable enough in their own skin to let him go and do it. You know the sort of way. But if you get the bigger games and Trent ends up going off, it's not going to happen. What you'll probably see is the likes of a Szoboszlai going in there and saying, "Here, you go and play right back, but you're going to be in there as well." Or they could do one or two other things. But look, it is a good rest. There's no harm in rests for the likes for me and the likes of Alisson. Definitely Van Dijk, Kanate. The Tsimikas one, yeah, it surprised me a little bit. McAllister is a big deal, I think, for getting a rest because
he?
he's been away and didn't look the
Diaz
best when he come
too.
back from the international break. He looked okay after in the derby, but then you look at Diaz as well, who's been away. But then again, you look at Nunez. Nunez is playing, but you mightn't see him on Sunday. You don't know, and that's the options we have, especially with Gakpo coming back. And just keep putting Gravenberch on the pitch. That's my opinion at the minute. He's just sensational.
I think the benefit for the Gomez at the moment is at least he's getting minutes, and I think that's sometimes been a big problem the last couple of years. Is we've always dropped him in, going right there you go, and he's not played for 6 weeks, and you're going, yeah, he looks like someone who's not played for 6 weeks.
Yeah,
Was he's been involved in pretty much every game this year, like
yeah,
meaningful minutes. So at least now you're going, well, if we have to drop him at right back, he's fine because he's been doing that most of the season, so he's not a problem. I think that's what we've got better at this year is we've managed to keep everyone in the squad fairly involved and interested. So at least then no one looks too much like a rabbit in headlights deer in headlights. Sorry, when you drop him in and going, yeah, he just doesn't like he hasn't played for a while. So to be fair to Klopp, we've got to say squad management this year so far has been top notch.
yeah. No, like people talk about this Thursday Sunday stuff, right? And look, the proof's in the pudding. When you look at teams that play Thursday Sunday, the majority of them either fall flat on their faces in Europe and kind of make their way through that first 4 months of the season when you're playing Thursday Sunday before the breaking and stuff like that. Or some of them are really good in Europe but struggling in the league. You've seen it with West Ham, you've seen it with loads of clubs in the Europa League. Where I think Liverpool, and I said this a couple of weeks ago, I think this might work for Liverpool. And the reason it might work for them is he hasn't decided this is the Premier League 15 and this is the Europa League 15 and we're just going to just play them as separate entities. He hasn't done that. He's given minutes. He's given minutes to guys to say, if we need you, you're ready. He's given minutes to lads that you're playing on Sunday, but we know you need 25 minutes, all that sports science stuff. Do you know what I mean? And then he's given minutes, I think, to players to go and, you know what? You're not in the category of just keeping you ticking over for the weekend. You're not in the category of if we need you, you're ready. They're in the category of go and show me you can get in this team. And I think there's a great mix of it at the minute. And I think we've handled it very well so far. Sunday will prove will prove that again if we go and win and we've kind of managed this European stuff so far. But now we're in a comfortable position, Chris, where we can go out and go, you know what, just go to Toulouse, get a point, or go and win in Toulouse. You've two game weeks off then. Then you can really start to look to rest people. But I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised if, even though we could be through this group after 4 games, which we most likely will be, I wouldn't be surprised if you still see a very similar lineups in the 5th and 6th games, because I think he has something in place here where it's just one's falling onto the next. It's not separate and it's not hurting ourselves on a Sunday. I think the
6th game you'll probably see like a really League Cup side, only because I think 3 days later we play United.
Yeah.
Whereas, to be fair, the United will probably going into their game 6 in Europe with something to play for, the state their groups in.
Yeah.
So, breaking news that James Pearce just tweeted. Apparently, Robbie Fowler's been sacked from his Saudi Arabia club, so that went well for him.
Oh, was he still over there?
Yeah. He was looking after the team in the division below the top one, second division. Apparently, they were doing quite well, but apparently, he's been sacked.
Okay, cool.
So,
yeah,
interesting. Anyway, so man the match. Are you going Darwin?
I'm
going Gravenberch.
I think it's a toss up, but if you're going Gravenberch, I'm going Darwin then, just to spread it out a little bit. I think Gravenberch was just the Gravenberch was probably the best. I said Nunez was the best player on the pitch. Maybe I'm wrong in that. I think Gravenberch might have been while he was on the pitch. But I think the one that, and I know this sounds weird, but the one that stood out and kind of sparked us
Yeah, I know what you
was
mean.
Nunez. Do you know, like Gravenberch's beautiful touch, glides with the ball, doesn't lose it very often, looks to create. His body movement is brilliant when he wants to kind of manipulate where his body is so he can get a ball out in position and stuff like that. And he's beautiful to watch. Like he's going to be a phenomenal player for Liverpool. I genuinely believe that. But I just think at times in the game when we are slowing it down with Trent, with Jones, and with Elliott, where they were a bit lax and they were a bit slow, Nunez seemed to be the one to go, do you know what, just give me the fucking ball and run down the wing with it, and it just gets people going again. So, yeah, I'll go with Nunez if you're going. Gravenberch.
LFC TV has also put Endo. So I mean,
Yeah,
Endo had a decent game, to be fair to him. He's sort of grown into that role, and Endo's not going to be the most flashy signing, and I get that, but Endo's doing a job that previous squad players haven't done for us. I'll be honest, Arthur Melo was supposed to do this, where you just play with all the League Cup games and we're going to play in Europa League games, and he might start against Luton. So then you don't have to start a McAllister, a Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, give them a rest. That's always been the challenge for Liverpool. Is we've had some squad players whose job is to do that, and they're never about. They're either unfit or unreliable. I've always described him as just a steady Eddie, and I kind of
yeah. I
don't
think
mind that.
you see. I think Endo might be suffering a bit from, not him personally, but I think he might be suffering the fact that he was brought in as the DM. You know, and people are going, he was brought in as the DM. He should be out of this world as the DM, right? Um, I think he's been okay. I think at times, like that Leicester game in the League Cup, I thought the first half he was a bit all over the place. But then he grew into it and he got better and better and better. And do you know what? Part of me, again, feels sorry for him because he seems to go in with different midfields all the time. A Jones in there, then there's an Elliott in there, then Elliott's not there, then Gravenberch is there. And it's not easy. It's not easy when you're changing those people around you, because if you have a steady two people beside you, even if Trent's doing this inverted thing and one of them's going over there, you know where they are. Whereas I think Endo takes a bit of time to look around and go, right, this is what we're doing, but this is how the game's going. And once he kind of gets a grip, I think he's absolutely fine. And yeah, look,
I think he spent the first 10 minutes just counting, going, "We've definitely still got 11, haven't we?"
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Definitely
yeah,
still got
yeah,
11.
yeah, because he's so fucking
It
used
feels
to
like
having.
every time he comes on, it's 10 or 9 plays. You go, fucking hell, lads. Give us a chance, will you?
Yeah, and he's doing absolutely fine. I think the only thing that's going against him is that we're looking at the moment McAllister in that deep line position in what you would call the starting 11 or the first 11, and people haven't been overly impressed by him, and that's fair. I think McAllister hasn't been on his best of form, but he shows flashes all the time of how good he is, and if you get him further up the pitch a little bit, I think you'd really see it. But we're persistent with it. And Endo kind of, here's this DM, but he's only good enough to play in these games. He's still finding his way as well. Like, you have to remember, he's 12 games into a Liverpool career. 12 times Liverpool have played since he's signed for the club. It's not like he's there a year, 40, 50 games to looking what's going on. And we know from all the evidence going before, when Jurgen Klopp gets you, he probably says, you know all that stuff you done at the team you were at, Stuttgart or wherever he was at, you're not doing any of that anymore. You're not doing any of that anymore. This is what you're doing for us. And that takes time. We've seen it with so many players. So I give, he's not being helped by the fact that Szoboszlai and now Gravenberch have come in and just looked fucking brilliant. But it's a different role. I wouldn't be too harsh on him. Emma Cavanagh says Andre in January and we'll be unstoppable. I'm fully behind that. The whole Andre signing. I just think the reason being, if you brought him in and maybe he does take a little time to go in, but he looks to me, I've probably seen about 20 minutes footage of him, but what you see of him is very mobile, very good on the ball, gets around, gets his tackles in. He's really good. Now, Endo does that, but Andre just looks a different level, and the knock-on effect of that is McAllister further up the pitch, and who doesn't like a signing in January to improve you, especially when we're in a title race, because I think we are going to be in a title race.
Yeah. Especially our recent record with January signs, they've all been pretty decent. Gakpo's and Diaz's, they all seem to go quite well.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And the link to Andre hasn't gone away. It's getting stronger and stronger from Brazil. They have their Libertadores final, I think, not this weekend, next weekend, I think it might be.
And then
Um,
then that's their season over. Then their
yeah, that's
season
more or
break.
less it. So like you could I'd love to see him coming in. I think he was definitely a target in the summer. And to bring him in just adds another little bit of steel to that midfield, and I'm absolutely fine with it. So don't be
He
too
also
hard on Endo. He's coming in, he's doing a job, and like let's be honest, if we get to a quarter final, a semi final to Europa League, Endo's not starting. He's just
yeah.
not. Most of these, a lot of them won't. But that's how you use your squad.
Yeah. And Dick was saying, Chris, did you see the ex Everton keeper content? Yeah, it was Rachel Brown Finnis, who used to
Was
play
this
for
on
England.
TNT?
Yeah, she was good actually. She's been on a few times
Yeah,
actually.
I
I don't mind
switched
it.
off from TNT, and it wasn't because of her, because of the fella commentating.
Oh,
Um, and I
I
went
don't
and
know.
watched it on the Zone, which was just one fella, just having a look. But when I was watching on the Zone, um, 3 times I looked away from the screen, and they obviously had some sort of logo on the screen for Bundesliga, Euro
Yeah.
24, and so. And I swear to God, I thought it was Matt talking. I actually looked up to say, Jesus, and Matt was. I messaged Matt, and he was like, "Oh, we all sound the same, do we?" I was like, "No, it genuinely sounded like you." But no, the Zone coverage was good. The girl on TNT was fine. Your man commentating does me head in. So that's how you are.
Yeah, he's not quite as bad as the Fletcher one though, is he?
Yeah, that's just most of them just do me head in, Chris. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
you know.
they're not too many I can get along with either. Right. Anything else before we go? What's going on the rest of the week?
What day is today?
Wednesday,
Is it Wednesday?
Thursday, even
Thursday.
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 I don't know what day it
Jesus
is.
Christ,
Thursday
don't do that to
football.
me.
I don't know.
Nothing tomorrow.
Oh,
Nothing Saturday. Sunday post match. Sunday night show, and that's it. We'll be back into next week.
cool. I think Sundays. I think it's me and Matt. I think. Isn't it?
I think it's you and Matt after Forest, and then I think it will be. I don't think I'll be here on Sunday. I have a thing to go to, so it might be just the three lads on Sunday. But that's absolutely fine. The three of them do the job, not a bother on them, and hopefully we're talking about another win for Liverpool.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, another win on Sunday, and keep things rolling.
Excellent. Right, on that happy note, like and subscribe and all that usual good
Yeah, and
stuff.
get over to Twitch.
Yeah, it's
Like
well
people
easy.
are on Twitch and they love it.
Oh,
Right?
it's cracking.
Yeah. No,
It's great.
the only thing is, if you're on Twitch, it's hard to pre-schedule shows. So what you need to do is just follow, and then we'll be going live and stuff like that. But if you follow us on our Instagram or our Twitter, we post out hours before the show to say we're going to be on that time at 10 o'clock. But people really like the Twitch setup, the way the interface and the way you can comment and stuff like that. And we've put a few people in place now as moderators and stuff like that. And we're looking to go forward with Twitch with more shows and stuff. People really like it. People know the issues I have around YouTube and stuff like that. But look, I said it to someone the other day. By putting stuff on Twitch, we're losing money. Genuinely, we're losing money by putting it on Twitch. But it's got to that stage where I don't care. So we're looking at loads of different avenues for, drumming up finance and different things. But Twitch at the moment, is not where to be, but make sure you have it there, because there will be some shows that will be only on Twitch. There'll be some shows that will be only on YouTube, and there'll be some that will be on both platforms for the time being.
Cool. Oh, you got more rattled in the comments now. They all want to know the ins and outs.
Is there a Twitch channel within YouTube? Says Antoine. No. So on your phone or your desktop, just go into your Play Store or your App Store and just type in Twitch, right? Download it, set up a username, use your email and password or whatever, set up a username. When you go in there, you're set up. You can actually stream from it. That's a streaming service. And then all you do is type in Talkin Kop, follow us when we go live. It's very similar to YouTube. It's just you're a user on there that could stream, yeah.
The chat function's actually a lot easier on your phone on Twitch than it is on YouTube as well.
Yeah. Antoine says, why are you leaving YouTube? I never said we were leaving YouTube. Never said that once. I just said we're making it available on Twitch, so have both of them. And we're going. Like I said, we're looking into different ways to do shows, and yeah, that's it for the moment. I'm not going to say any more on it. We're just we're just looking into things to see what way we want to do it. That's all. Nothing major. Just have Twitch and then Wango on my phone, on my desktop, wherever you fucking want,
On your
wherever you
grandma
want.
phone.
Well, yeah, wherever your phone. Yeah, put on your phone and your thing. It doesn't matter. Um, just it's very easy to do. Ashley says they're not leaving YouTube at the moment. They're just exploring Twitch as a streaming alternative. It's just an app that you download. 100%. Like, why isn't Ashley just a spokesperson on this?
I know she talks more sense than we do.
And you know what? I'm still getting messages going. Why did you change name? And I'm like,
Oh, I still get that going.
yeah,
I've been asked, have I left the channel? I've gone, no, it's just changed its name.
yeah. We've changed our name. Like, I'll say it one more time. We've changed our name because the Day Trippers was brilliant, but the Day Trippers is associated with people that made the Day Trippers and will always be associated with it. The lads that are on now, some of them are years on the Day Trippers, some of them are brand new to it. So we wanted to freshen it up, change the name, and give the people that have it going forward their own kind of identity with something that they do. That's it. There's no conspiracy theories. There's no fucking anything. It's just we wanted to change it up, give it a new name, and that's it. Same people, same type of shows, same laugh. That's it. There you go. And Wango asks, why have you changed the name? He's just annoying me now. But look, that's it. We've changed the name. We freshened it up. Go and get Twitch. Like I said, shows going forward. Some on YouTube, some on Twitch, some on both, some on none of them. Some will just go straight to download for audio. We're just looking into doing. We're just looking into doing things slightly differently, in a different approach. Red Steve says, is it because the Trippers was already taken on Twitch? No, because the Trippers on Twitch is theirs. We still have it. It's not that at all. Jesus Christ. But yeah, look, it's just a new approach, and like people have asked me, you're going to start charging subscriptions? Are you going to charge? We don't want to do that. We never have wanted to do that. But I've loads of people saying to me, "I'll just do it. Like, we'll give the whatever it is a month." But it's not something I've ever been interested in. So that's where we are. But can we go now?
Yeah, you're the one who keeps talking, mate.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because you keep asking me fucking questions.
Right, anyway, thanks everyone for watching, and we'll all be back. Well, me and Matt on Sunday, hopefully talk about Widow Forest, and then the guys will be back later on Sunday. Until then, take care, speak soon, all that good stuff. Speak to you later.